Well, for once, we're all matching. PWC gear. Get on the MM store now. Okay, so NXT Stand and Deliver, guys, 2025. The match is official. It's a triple threat. We're getting a lot of triple threats this WrestleMania weekend, and NXT is giving us another one. NXT Championship. Jeremy's favorite, Oba Femi, taking on Trick Williams and Javon Evans. Because he's a big Oba Femi fan, Jeremy.
Can I just say this? Do we all let me go? Do we all remember when Carmelo Hayes was still on NXT and the route he took on the way he treated Trick Williams and the way he was behaving?
Yep.
That's now where the direction Williams is going.
Yeah, the crowd were getting into him on Wednesday as well because of that. The crowd was actually
It's a role reversal.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's perfect.
Oh, it's and by the way,
I love it.
Very happy. I am very happy that Sean Spears dropped the title to Ricky Saints. I'm very happy with that. But now I want to see on Stand and Deliver Ricky Saints versus All Ego Ethan Page in a fight pit match or an Extreme Rules match.
I don't think we're getting the fight pit.
I don't think you're going to see a fight pit match. What is I can't remember his name now. The guy that was missing all the teeth.
Toothless Timothy.
That was his match, man. The fight pit was his match. That was my guy. That was his match.
That, if I'm not mistaken, I think he is either on MLW or GCW.
Well, he'll do well in GCW with all their blood and guts that they've got going on over there. I just had a AEW reference.
I think there are some WWE representatives on the next Bloodsport.
Is it?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
I think Natalia is going to compete in it.
Why is John Moxley not going to be in Bloodsport? He's known for blood, and Goldberg.
Well, with John Moxley, I think once he's there, somebody will just have to miss him and the blood will start coming out.
And Goldberg just has to bash his head on the door for blood to come out.
Well, with Goldberg, all you really need to do is just give him one last match, tell him to try and hit a spear, he'll hurt himself, and then his career is over. And if I want to do that, I'll take somebody from NXT and give them to Goldberg as a retirement match. More especially, I would give Goldberg Charlie Dempsey and let Charlie Dempsey do to Goldberg what William Regal did to Goldberg in WCW.
That's a deep cut. That is a deep cut. Well done to me. Yes, sir.
How about this? I think Jeremy would like this idea. Oba Femi versus Goldberg.
Oba Femi versus Goldberg. Goldberg will show you how gold he is. That gold is fucking stained and it's faded.
There's one other match. There is one match I'd like Goldberg to have. There is one match. There is one guy I would like him. Who?
Oh, sorry. Now, since I think she's on her way back to WWE, I would say Paige.
No. There's one person I'd like Goldberg to have his last match with. I'm just going to gloss over what Sumit said there. No. Braun Breaker.
Spear versus.
Can you imagine Braun Breaker versus Goldberg?
However, imagine this one. Imagine this scenario. Goldberg, Ilya Dragunov comes back, and then he is Goldberg's retirement match. The Mad Dragon versus Goldberg.
What do you mean more?
The Mad Dragon versus Captain. Yes, that's a great match.
Yes, it's a great match for one person, and that'll be the last we see of Goldberg.
I'm hoping that we've seen the last of him already.
I
Well,
hope so because
if you want
I
to
don't want to
see,
see him versus Gunther.
look, if you want to see the last of
No,
him, just
no,
give him to
no. Just give him two.
Ivy
What
Nile.
did you say? Moving
Okay,
on.
that's not gonna happen.
Well, I
Okay.
think
I know what.
look, with Goldberg's current state, I think even Maxine Dupree will beat him.
Even BFAB might beat him. Okay, getting back to the match. Oba Femi versus Trick Williams versus Jerron Evans. I know Jeremy is a big fan of Oba Femi, so I want to hear his thoughts on this match.
Okay,
I
look,
can't.
the build for this thing, has just been amazing. The way
Yes.
they built it,
Yes.
the way everybody is in everybody else's business, and then the Shield 2.0, those guys, man, that quadruple power bomb of theirs, I saw it for the first time. Look, I was doing what you were doing for the longest time, Nashville. I was watching highlights, and I think for the first time this past Wednesday, I saw the actual move, and I was like, Shield much, too much, much too much, and then.
However, let's whilst you mentioned the Shield 2.0, let's discuss this. How many of them you think will turn on each other once they actually get going with their careers?
No, look,
It's
you
gonna
have
be
to
about like 2-3 years now. I don't think it's happening right. They just built up now. They didn't even have the first match officially.
It will happen. It will happen. But from what I can see, and from what I am predicting, is what I saw with the Shield, because they are actually doing the same thing that the Shield did, but in a more destructive way. Because with them it's 4, the Shield was only 3, and now the Shield members are only 2.
It's like a Shield aesthetic mixed with the Nexus aggression.
Yes,
that's the feeling.
100%.
It's like a
Dark
monster.
So Dark State is the name of this, so you guys can stop calling them Shield 2. I know a lot of us like to
call them Shield 2.0.
Look, Nash, they might have a name called Dark State. However, it does not take away from the fact that they are dressed, they act, and they carry themselves like the Shield. So they are Shield 2.0.
He's right. I wish I can argue with Sumit, but he's right.
If
the
we had
United fan is right for a change.
Look, if we had to take one of our very favorite TV shows, right? Like Dragon Ball Z, for example, if we had to take that, and then now they make another series where Goku, Vegeta, and all the senior members or the original members are not there, but now the children are there and the grandchildren are there, and they base a cartoon on that. Can they now call it anything else besides Dragon Ball? Because they're still part of the same thing. It's Dragon Ball 2.0.
All I can say is Oba Femi is retaining the NXT Championship at NXT Stand and Deliver. As much as I like Evans.
But look, as much as I like Trick Williams as well, there's if you take the belt off him, no. Maybe a heel trick. I'm not sure. He pins Javon Evans, but
he's turning heel. 100%.
I can't see.
I don't know if you agree with me on this. Nash, you as well. I don't know if you'll agree with me on this point. There are some wrestlers that were champions previously, but they built their reputation up so much that they actually don't need the belt to push their careers forward. They actually don't need the belt.
It's what's happening. It's what's happening with with Rollins, Reigns, and Punk right now.
Exactly.
They don't need a belt.
Exactly. It's same like Trick Williams. Trick Williams does not need the NXT Championship belt around his waist for him to prove that he is a main event player, because he has already proven it.
Unless they turn him heel. And I've always been that guy that says, if you turn heel, you need a title to solidify your heel turn.
But
you can't just turn heel and have nothing change. You get what I'm saying?
What I cannot stomach to happen, and trust me, I can stomach a lot of things, but with this instance, what I can't stomach to happen is Javon Evans winning that match and running around with the title. I mean, that will just look like a chicken, like a chicken with clothes that has a belt on.
I don't think he's there yet. I don't think so much that. I don't think he's. I honestly think that we're going to end up with another Tiffany situation, where you've got a main title, and if you're fighting the lower level opponents, it's fine. But the moment you step in there with somebody like a legitimate challenger, unfortunately, someone that can talk, it makes you look like you're out of your depth.
And while
think Javon,
the topic of Stand and Deliver,
I think Evans is going to be feuding with Trick Williams. That's where I think this is going. And the feud with Trick Williams is going to send Trick Williams to the main roster. Javon Evans will be elevated to the world title scene, and that's when Javon Evans gets the world title. It's not going to be a Stand and Deliver. It's too soon. He's not ready for it yet. And Oba Femi right now is hotter than ever. And the Trick Williams heel turn is still in the process.
Especially with the match that Oba Femi had with Moose. I think that kind of solidified. That solidified Oba Femi as a true, as a real heavyweight champion. That solidified it, because let me tell you, the match that they had, a lot of wrestlers on the main roster wouldn't have went toe to toe with Moose and had a physical match like that.
You just mentioned World Heavyweight Championship, and something just came in my head.
Yeah, because you and I had the same idea. You and I had the same idea.
What I'm thinking. I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, though. Oba Femi goes up to the main roster eventually and clashes with Gunther.
At some point, we are going to have Oba Femi versus Gunther.
But
I'm not a heavyweight guy, and that is giving me an erection.
Tell you one thing: if Oba Femi goes to the roster, who is going to compete with him in terms of strength? Because he won't have any competition besides Braun Strowman.
True, and they're all Braun Breaker's there. Braun Breaker's a big muscle guy. He's like Ryback levels of muscle, except he can use it, unlike Ryback.
At the end of the day, we all want to see a product where you have wrestlers that's going there, that's going to make an impact, right? And all the wrestlers that's there all has a chance to show what they can do. But with Oba Femi, a lot of them are going to kill their careers, because a lot of them cannot match Oba Femi in terms of strength and stamina.
That's true.
To all our subscribers, please like, subscribe, or comment. Comment means a lot to us. Let us know what your thoughts are, and we'd like to be in touch with you. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers.